then we do it. We have looked at the shloka number 52 yesterday, and we have stopped saying Shiva is Susahaha. He is the greatest defense which is available. So if you have Shiva on your side, he will protect you, he will guard you from any attack, from any metaphysical, physical, or emotional attacks. That is what the meaning of Susaha is, means the greatest defense. You see, in football, also we have defenders. For a goalie, there is also defender. So he is the greatest defender. And Madhyamas Tatha. So he is also a layman. He is also a very common person. Let's now discuss. Tejopahari balaha muditortho jito varaha. Tejopahari balaha muditortho jito varaha. गंभीरघोषा गंभीरो गंभीरबलवाहनः गंभीरघोषा गंभीरो गंभीरबलवाहनः तेजोपहारी बलः मुदितोऽर्थो जितो वरः गंभीरघोषा गंभीरो गंभीरबलवाहनः तेजोपहारी बलः मुदितोऽर्थो जितो वरः गंभीरघोषा गंभीरो गंभीरबलवाहनः. The very shloka itself and these very words, Gambhira, which mean gravitas, which means serenity and which means depth itself, that is the beauty of Sanskritam, you see. The word itself represents that emotion which the word means. Gambhira Ghosha, Gambhiro, Gambhira Balavahana. So let's look at the meaning. Tejopahari, he who removes Tejas. Now we have seen many times that he is also the Tejas. Tejas, Tejas Karo Varaha. So he also is the form of energy, but he can also be the one who removes energy. Tejopahari. For example, at the time of death, we say a man's soul has left. He has lost his energy, right? Even a depressed person, we say he is not really energetic. His energies are way below. They have hit um, a new low, we say. Similarly, whenever you energy is removed, or it leaves the body or the mind, the soul becomes very depressed. Similarly, at the time of death, because he is the ultimate remover of all energies and souls, he is Tejopahari. Bala Ha, we have seen that Ha means killer, destroyer. Bala Ha, one who kills or slays armies. Just today, I have watched Chahava, a very nice movie, must watch. Very satisfying, very well made movie too. So there, he destroys armies, countless um, battalions of armies. So similarly, Shiva himself is also the destroyer of armies. Muditaha, he is always smiling. Mudita, he is always joyful. Arthaha, Artha means he is the purpose. He is the purpose of life. He is the purpose of the universe. Artha. Ajitaha. Ajitaha is Jita means one who is conquered. Ajitaha, unconquered or unconquerable, undefeated. Ajitaha. Avaraha. Avaraha means he is the worst. WORST, worst. Just as he is Vara, he is the best. He can also be the worst. Worst enemy, worst person, worst worst child, etc. Avaraha, Varaha. Gambhira Ghoshaha. His Ghosha, his echo, his howl is Gambhira. It's a very deep pitched voice. Gambhira. Gambhiraha. His personality itself is very deep, very just like the ocean, very deep and also very vast. Gambhiraha. We also say Sri Rama is Gambhira, right? Gambhira means one who carries with himself a lot of air and gravitas. And we have seen such people. When we I mean, when that person walks into a room, everybody stays silent. He looks up to that person. So such a person is called as Gambhira. Gambhira Balavahanaha. Vahana means his mount, his Nandi is Gambhira Bala. Um, he is also the form of Nandi, which carries a very heavy weight. Gambhira Bala. What does it mean? Just as a bull or an ox carries the burden of the bullock cart, the plow on its shoulders. Similarly, Nandi, who carries Shiva himself, who is a Gambhira Bala, who is the greatest, the deepest, and the heaviest person, both physically as well as spiritually. Such a person is being carried by whom? By Nandi. And Shiva is also Nandi. If you remember in one of the previous names, we have said he is Vrisharupaha. He is the form of an ox. And now it makes sense, right? Because he, as Nandi, is also the one who carries himself. Okay? Then Nyagrodharu. Okay, let's just repeat it once. Tejopahari balaha muditortho jito varaha gambhira ghosha gambhiro gambhira balavahanaha. Now, for those of you finding this word difficult, mudito, muditor, split it as muditor, T-O-R, muditor, tho, T-H-O, tho, Jito Varaha. Now, all these S symbols are called avagrahas and they are not to be pronounced as a. They only represent, they hold the place for a, but they are not to be recited while chanting. So it just becomes Muditor Tho Jito Varaha. Muditor Tho Jito Varaha. Tejo Pahari Balaha Muditor Tho Jito Varaha. गंभीरघोषा गंभीरो गंभीरबलवाहनः न्यग्रोधरूपो न्यग्रोधो वृक्षपर्णस्थितिर्विभुः सुतीक्ष्णदशनश्चैव महाकायो महाननः न्यग्रोधरूपो न्यग्रोधो वृक्षपर्णस्थितिर्विभुः सुतीक्ष्ण दशनश्चैव महाकायो महाननः न्यग्रोधरूपो न्यग्रोधो वृक्षपर्णस्थितिर्विभुः सुतीक्ष्ण दशनश्चैव महाकायो महाननः न्यग्रोधरूपो न्यग्रोधो वृक्षपर्णस्थितिर्विभुः सुतीक्ष्णदशनश्चैव महाकायो महाननः. Nyagrodha is banyan. He is the form of a banyan tree. Nyagrodha, he is himself a banyan, which means one is a simile, another is a metaphor. The first word says he is like a banyan. The second word says he is a banyan. So he is of the form of a banyan tree, so which of course we know because all these people trees, banyan trees, there is this very nice culture in us, very eco-sensitive culture to worship trees, plants, animals, forests, mountains, stones, and so on. So he is of the form of all this large banyan tree, which gives shade to others. He is a banyan tree. If you remember, in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we see Krishna describes an urdhva moolam adhash shakham, a tree which is a banyan or a people tree which is urdhva moolam, which has its roots up while its stem is below. So similarly, so there he is describing, Sri Krishna is describing the samsara, the universe, to be of the form of such a people tree. I mean, people and banyan are closely related. So Nyagrodha here is being used to describe Shiva for the very same reason that he is the universe, with all its various branches, um, leaves, roots, and so on. Nyagrodha Vrikshaparna Sthitir. And what is another reason why they use Nyagrodha or people tree is because these two trees, they can reproduce asexually. They can, without even the seed having to fall, just through its roots and shoots, a new tree can be born. If you have seen the banyan tree, right, from the branches, one root falls into the ground and that itself becomes a tree and it forms a canopy thus. Similarly, the universe, there is no need for another universe to come procreate with this universe to create more galaxies. It is of the form of a banyan tree which is self-creating. So it can also mean in that sense that the cosmos is like a banyan and therefore is also Shiva. Vrikshaparnaha sthitir vibhuhu. Vrikshaparna sthitihi. Sthiti means the trunk. Vriksha means the tree. Parna means the leaves. He who is of the form of the trunk and its leaves. Once again, leaves represent the manufacturing unit of a plant, which collects energy. Sthiti, the stem, represents the structure of the plant. So he, as a vriksha, as this banyan tree, is also the leaves which collect the energy from God and which develop into the structure of the universe, which is also Shiva itself. So we say he is both immanent and transcendent. So in philosophy, God, Shiva, is said to be both immanent and transcendent, which means if you just imagine a painter paints a portrait, okay, some landscape he paints, and then he also paints a version of himself in the portrait. So if you're following that, we can say for an onlooker, we can say, see this painter, let's call him X. X is there as a painter as well as the character in that portrait, in that landscape, right? So as a part of the landscape, he is immanent. As the creator of the landscape, he is transcendent. So this is how God is described. Similarly, here he is also the collector of energy, he is the structure of energy, and he is Vibhu, he is the creator of this cosmos. Sutikshna Dashanaschaiva. Sutikshna, Tikshna means very sharp. Sutikshna means very, very sharp. Dashana means, it's not Darshana, it is Dashana means the canines, the teeth which are fang-like. So those are called as Dashanas. As a Rakshasa, he can be very ferocious, and even Veerabhadra and such Ugra Rupas of Shiva are shown with these fangs coming protruding from his mouth. They are very sharp. Meaning to say, he can also be equally as angry, terrorizing, and evil. Chaiva Mahakayaha Mahananaha. Mahakayaha, he has a great physical body, and Mahananaha, a big face. विश्वक्सेनो हरिर्यज्ञः संयुगा पीडवाहनः तीक्ष्णतापश्च हर्यश्वः सहायः कर्म कालवित् विश्वक्सेनो हरिर्यज्ञः संयुगा पीडवाहनः तीक्ष्णतापश्च हर्यश्वः सहायः कर्म कालवित् विश्वक्सेनो हरिर्यज्ञः संयुगा पीडवाहनः तीक्ष्णतापश्च हर्यश्वः सहायः कर्म कालवित् विश्वक्सेनो हरिर्यज्ञः संयुगा पीडवाहनः तीक्ष्णतापश्च हर्यश्वः सहायः Karma Kalavit. What does it say? Vishwaksenaha. He he is of the form of a battle formation, which is Vishwak, which means which surrounds the enemy. So, which means he is so powerful, he can ambush the enemy with all his power and all his might. So, he is called Vishwaksenaha. Harir, he is the dissolver. See, Hara is the destroyer, Hari is the dissolver. There's a very subtle difference. You see, when you pour salt into water, it is not destroyed. It only dissolves. Means it is there in essence, but it has lost only its form. That's what Hari means. So one who dissolves. But elsewhere we have also seen he is Hara, who also destroys. So another example would be, see, these vasanas, they say, right? The impressions in our mind, they do not go away, they only dissolve in sleep. When we sleep, we don't experience the world, we don't experience our personalities, me as Sudarshan, or the story that we tell about ourselves to ourselves, the dots that we connect about our life events, etc. So this person as Sudarshan, he is lost when he sleeps, when I sleep. So is it mean I'm destroyed? No, it is only dissolved. So I exist in a dissolved state in my sleep. Whereas samadhi or enlightenment, they say moksha, the great people, the great seers have said it is called hara. So he actually destroys. So all impressions and personalities and constructs are destroyed at the time of enlightenment. And in the Brahmanda, it is destroyed at the time of pralaya. So he is Hari also. Yajnaha, he is the form of the holy sacrifices. Samyuga pida vahanaha. Samyuga means the plow, the yoke, yoke that they use to combine or make both oxen, uh, how do you say, get linked to the plow. So that is called Samyuga. Samyuga pida vahanaha means, pida means one which is troubled. Samyuga pida vahanaha means that vahana, whose vahana is an oxen, which is Nandi. And what is the characteristic of an ox? It is that it is destined to take the blows, to be tortured, in the sense not literally tortured, but to take the blows of the whip and to carry the samyuk, the yoke and plow. So what is it trying to say here? So it is at the same time describing both Nandi as well as Shiva. So Nandi is the ox who is the Vahana of Shiva that we know. But what is this characteristic doing here of Samyuga Pida? So this is how I understood it. You can interpret it in different ways too. Samyuga is that yoke which links the soul, the jiva, with the jagat, with the world around us. So that is Samyug. That's the yoke. And so we, as Nandi, I mean, I think of this as referring to ourselves, our souls as being Nandi, which is somehow always in this journey, this rat race of carrying and bearing responsibilities to ourselves, to others. We get the whips from the world, right? We are whipped now and then. We are also fed, but we are fed because it just keeps us alive, and just so that it gives us enough motivation to carry forward working, doing the hard work, putting in the efforts. So that is how Nandi is symbolized as the soul who is now so disgusted and mm, tired of working and working and working. Not just, yes, yes.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Huh.
For some time, we couldn't hear your voice. I don't. Everybody had that problem, or the problem is at my end.
Okay. Okay, Arya. Is anybody else also facing the same issue? Is my audio not reachable? Hari Om. Hari Om. Am I audible?
But then I realized for some time, quite a bit of time,
Hari Om. Okay. Am I okay? Okay. Am I audible now then?
some network issue. Yeah,
Hari Om. Am I audible now? Okay. Let me just rejoin. Please give me a moment. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Am I audible now? Is this better? Okay. Okay.
yes,
Okay. Thank you. Darshan Arya, am I audible now?
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. So what I was talking about the Nandi, which symbolizes ourselves, which is beaten, which is whipped, which carries the burden of samsara of the world and keeps going in circles. If you have seen the mill, right? Oxen are usually used in farms for the oil mill to churn the oil out. So it keeps going, you know, again round and round and round until it becomes very tired, and the farmer just gives it enough food so that it rejuvenates itself and carries just enough so that it can work the next day. So similarly, he is the person, the Shiva is the god who rides on us as souls. Uh, you know, so what does it mean to have to for us to be his Vahana? So we should carry him. That is what it could also mean, that we should always bear him along with our duties of the samsara. Somehow we must try to make time for Shiva also, to maybe allow him to sit on our backs and along with the world's responsibilities. Tikshna hariyashvah sahaya karma kalavid. Tikshna tapaha. Tikshna is very fierce. Tapa means heat. One who has a very fiery heat. Acha, Hariyashwaha. Hariyashwaha is, see, Hari is, now Hari, as Bhagavan Hari is of course God itself, which is Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. But here Hari also means the, lion. So Hariyashwaha is referring to a particular kind of an animal which is a cross between a lion and an ashwa and um, a horse. So what does it mean? See, lion is used as a sign of bravery, Hari, and ashwa is a sign of royalness, of royalty. So Haryashva is literally, it may be a mythical creature, but Haryashva is used to represent a brave royal person. So a brave royal person is what is called a Haryashva. Sahayaha, he offers help. He is the help which is offered. And karma kala with. Karma kala with. With means he knows. Vetti iti with. He knows what? He knows our karma, our actions, and the kala, and the time at which they will come to fruition, or the karmas which happened in the past, present, and future. Karma kala with. Vishwakseno hariryajñas samyuga तीक्ष्णतापश्च हर्यश्वस् सहायः कर्मकालवित् विष्णुप्रसाद विष्णुप्रसादितो यज्ञः समुद्रो वडवामुखः हुताशनसहायश्च प्रशान्तात्मा हुताशनः विष्णुप्रसादितो यज्ञः समुद्रो वडवामुखः हुताशनसहायश्च प्रशान्तात्मा हुताशनः विष्णुप्रसादितो यज्ञः समुद्रो वडवामुखः हुताशन सहायश्च प्रशान्तात्मा हुताशनः विष्णुप्रसादितो यज्ञः समुद्रो वडवामुखः हुताशन सहायश्च प्रशान्तात्मा हुताशनः विष्णुप्रसादितो यज्ञः समुद्रो वडवामुखः हुताशनसहायश्च प्रशान्तात्मा हुताशनः Vishnu Prasaditaha, he who is worshipped or pleased by Vishnu. So this refers to a story from the Shiva Purana where Sri Vishnu was doing tapasya was praying to Shiva, and he offered the 999 lotuses, while one, though he had collected 1,000 lotus, somehow one was missing. And without a second thought, he just quickly remembered that he is called Padma Nayana, Padmaksha, so, which means the lotus-eyed one. So he just thought, okay, if I am truly Padmaksha, then why not just offer my own eye as the thousandth, um, you know, lotus? And when he was just about to do so, Shiva, he became Pratyaksha, and he was utterly happy and pleased, and he gave the Sudarshana Chakra to Vishnu. And so that is the how the story goes. Vishnu Prasaditaha means one who was worshipped and pleased by Vishnu. Yajnaha, again, he is of the form of Yajna. Samudraha, he is the ocean. Vadava Mukhaha, Vadava means the Agni. Agni is called Vadava. Uh, Vadava also refers to the Homa Agni, the Agni which is controlled and which is invoked in the Homas. Vadava Mukhaha means he is the form of the Mukha of Agni, the face of Agni which accepts, which swallows, which drinks the ghee. That is called a Vadava Mukhaha. Basically meaning he who accepts our prayers and prarthanas. Hutashana Sahayascha. Hutashana is Agni. Hutashana Sahayaha. He is the friend or he is the aid, 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 the confidant of Agni. He goes along with Agni. One other meaning of Vadava Mukha, by the way, Vadava also refers to Ashwa. So Ashwa means horse. Vadava Mukha means he who has the face of a horse. So if you remember, there are two deities in the Hindu pantheon who have a face of Ashwa. One is the Ashwini Kumaras, right? The Ashwini Devatas. And secondly, interestingly, is Hayagriva. So Sri Hayagriva is actually shown with the protector of Vedas. So this could also be hinting at Hayagriva being God, and that is Shiva. So God equals Shiva, and Hayagriva equals God, and so Shiva equals Hayagriva. So this is the relationship which is being denoted here. Let me just have a sip of water. Now, talking about Agni, Hutashana, and Homa has made me thirsty. Hutashana Sahayascha Prashantatma Prashantatma means the one who has a very serene soul and mind. Prashantatma, and he is Hutashana himself. He is also Agni. विष्णुप्रसादितो यज्ञः समुद्रो वडवामुखः हुताशनसहायश्च प्रशान्तात्मा हुताशनः उग्रतेजा महातेजा जन्यो विजयकालवित् ज्योतिषामयनं सिद्धिः सर्वविग्रह एव च उग्रतेजा महातेजा जन्यो विजयकालवित् ज्योतिषामयनं सिद्धिः सर्वविग्रह एव च उग्रतेजा महातेजा जन्यो विजयकालवित् ज्योतिषाम् अयनं सिद्धिः सर्वविग्रह एव च Ugra Teja. Teja is power or radiance. Ugra Teja, one who has spectacular, fierce tejas. Maha Teja, one who has great tejas. Now you see, all these words have been repeated at least thrice by now. The point is, one is emphasis, and secondly, you see, all these shlokas are not really like literally crafted, keeping in mind, oh, have I repeated this or not? Have I, must I use this once again or not? So it is not really a scientific grantha. In a sense, I don't mean science in that way. I don't mean it's not a really logical, systematic grantha like the Panini, Vyakarana or other such texts which are very tarka pradhana, which are very logic oriented, systematic oriented, very systematized. Now, because this is a bhakti text, and this is a very common feature even in our own lives, right? When we are in love with someone or with something, we want to keep repeating and praising the same things over and over again. We find joy in the same things. So it could be that Upamanyu Maharshi, or first Brahma, as it is so said, that it was he who first composed these 1,000 names. There is a lot of repetition for the only reason that you are just in love and you're in the zone of Shiva. You are not really calculating and keeping track of if I have told this name or not and so on. So when you say Ugra Teja, it already means Mahateja. So why the repetition? Again, it just means you just want to say the same things in many ways. Ugra Teja, Mahateja, right? So like you are praising a king. Parakrama, Shurashali, Satyanistha, and so on and so forth. Although of them may mean the same thing. So, but you just use synonyms for respect, admiration, and adulation. Ugrateja, Mahateja, Janyaha. Janyaha is one who is yet to be born. That is called a Janya. So he is already born. He doesn't have birth, but he is also yet to be born. Vijaya Kala with means one who knows. Vijaya Kala, one who knows the time of success, Vijaya, of victory. Basically, he already has decided when the victory is going to happen, and he already has decided who the victory will be on the side of. And so he also already knows what will happen through the course of a war, of a battle. So he already has determined the Kala, the time of victory, of Vijaya. Jyotisham ayanam siddhi. Jyotish means the heavenly bodies, which is why we call Jyotishya as the study of heavenly bodies. It was originally actually is just studying the heavenly bodies, not just for predicting something about our lives, but just for the curiosity of it, like science, like astronomy, just studying the course of stars, studying the path of moon, of the phases of moon, and so on and so forth. So that is what is called Jyotish, the heavenly bodies. Jyotisham Ayanam, he is the path of the Jyotish. So he actually is the orbit in which these planets are moving. Siddhi, he is the achievement. Sarva Vigraha Evacha, he is the form of all Vigrahas. So, Vigraha here refers to bodies, physical bodies. He is the entirety, the sum total of all bodies. He is everybody, quite literally. उग्रतेजा महातेजा जन्यो विजयकालवित् ज्योतिषामयनं सिद्धिः सर्वविग्रह एव च शिखे मुण्डी जटी ज्वाली मूर्तिजो मूर्धगो बली वेणवीपणवीताली खली कालकटङ्कटः शिखी मुंडी जटी ज्वाली मूर्ति जो मूर्ध गोबली वेण वीपण वीताली खली कालकटंकटः शिखी मुंडी जटी ज्वाली मूर्ति जो मूर्ध गोबली वेणवीपणवीखताली खली कालकटङ्कटः Shikhi means one who has a shikha, one who has what? The tuft of hair that the home of the priests grow. That is called shikha. Mundi, munda, Hariom. Is my audio not coming through? Okay. Shikhi, Mundi. Mundi means one who has shaven his head. Munda. That is one meaning. The second meaning is one who has a skull, a garland of skulls. Is called Mundi. Munda means the skull. Mundi means one who holds a skull. Jati, of course, he has the matted hair because of his tapasya. Jati, Jwali, he holds in one of his, if you have seen um, the figure of Nataraja, you have in one hand the flame, the hellfire burning. So he holds the Jwala, he holds the hellfire in his hand. Murti Jaha, he is born from a Murti. So we always have this question, why are we worshipping Murtis if we actually believe only in the divinity of God, right? So, Murtija, this word answers that question. He is born from the Murtis, from the idols. It is because he is present in the idols too, he is present in the laptop also. But he is most evident and he is born, so to speak, from the Murtis. He takes birth in the Murtis more evidently, more in a concentrated manner. Murdhagaha, Murdhaga, one who uh, you know moves in using his head, Murdha. So what does it mean? So Murdhaga is like a bird because it moves in air using its beak, its head. So you can think it of in that way. The second way to understand it is as a fish, Murdhaga. Even a fish traverses through the water using its head. So he is the form of both a bird as well as a fish. Murdhagaha. Bali, he is strong. Venavi, Venu means the flute, the bamboo. Yes, yes, ma'am. Please, you have raised your hand. You can speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Please.
So just I wanted to clarify one thing, sir, that this Murtijo, can it mean that he is since he is everything, he can be interpreted as being all Devanti, all the Murtis being worshipped, all the Deva Devis being worshipped in the form of Murtis. Can it be interpreted like that?
Absolutely, that's true. That's actually correct. Yeah, makes sense now. He is, yeah, yeah. Just say it once again. Just say it once again.
I just wanted to say, since he is everything, so he is actually in the form Sarva Deva Devi Swarupa.
Correct.
So he is present in all. He in some sense taking the form of all the devas and devis that we worship. So and they are worshipped in the form of murti.
Correct.
He is in the form in all the as devas and devis.
That's actually, yes, that's a very valid interpretation. Correct. Thank you. Okay, next. Venavi. Venu means the bamboo, the flute. So one who plays the flute is called Venavi. Panavi. Panu means, Panava means the drum. The if you have seen in these Shivaji, these Marathi Mandal drums, right? They beat the dhols. So those are called as Panavanada. So dhakkas or Panavas. So he who has that or who plays that. Tali, one who plays the tala. When you're doing bhajana, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, you play that tinkling sound. That is called the tala. Tali. Khali. Let me just get back to you. I am not sure of the meaning of Khali. Uh, I'll just take a minute or so and get back afterwards. In the Kala Katankataha, Kala means time. Katam Kataha. Now, this is a very special usage of a very rare word, which means one who ties the Kala, which means time or death, in a puts him in a standstill, who freezes him. Katang kataha means one who freezes, one who what do you have this what do you call this tasers, right? These American police, they use these tasers to still a person. So that is what is called a katang kataha. So he stills time, he freezes time. That's what the meaning of kala katang kataha is. One who can still time, one who can electrify and bring it to a complete standstill, a complete halt. शिखी मुंडी जटी ज्वाली मूर्ति जो मूर्ध गोबली वेणवी पणवी ताली खली कालकटंकटः. Okay, I just looked it up. Khala means a whip. So one who bears a whip is called a khali. Venavi, one who has a flute. Panavi, drum. Tali, those little talas. Khali is a whip. And Kala Katankataha is one who freezes time. So, when in relation to the freezing time, it came to my mind that there are stories or legends of these yogis who can live beyond 100 years, who can live for 150, 200, and so on. So they, in a way, they don't look very old. They may have this beard and such, but they really don't look their age. So it is as though time has stopped for them. It has come to a standstill. And how is that? And they particularly are usually Shiva worshippers. All these sages also, right? Because they are tapasvis, they may have these siddhis to live beyond their biological age. And it just came flash to me. It may be in relation to another characteristic, another connection between why Shiva is also the freezer of time. नक्षत्र विग्रह मतिर गुण बुद्धिर लयो गमः नक्षत्र विग्रह मतिर गुण बुद्धिर लयो गमः nakshatra. Now this word is very large, pay attention. Nakshatra vigraha matir guna buddhir layo gamaha. नक्षत्र विग्रह मतिर गुण बुद्धिर लयो गमः प्रजापतिर विश्वबाहुर विभागस सर्वगोमुखः प्रजापतिर विश्वबाहुर विभागः सर्वगोमुखः नक्षत्र विग्रह मतिर गुण बुद्धिर लयो गमः प्रजापतिर विश्वबाहुर विभागः सर्वगोमुखः नक्षत्र विग्रह मतिर गुण बुद्धिर लयो गमः प्रजापतिर विश्वबाहुर विभागः सर्वगोमुखः Nakshatra is the stars, Vigraha is the body, Matihi means the mind. Now all these, now they seem very unrelated. Nakshatra, the stars, the body, the mind. So Nakshatra Vigraha Matihi actually means one whose mind is made of the body of stars. So what it actually means is Nakshatra Vigraha is actually a reference to Chandra. So Shiva's mind is as calm and serene as the moon, and the moon is qualified as being a Nakshatra Vigraha. He who is the corporeal form of all the nakshatras. So the idea here is nakshatras, all the constellations, are perceived to be the fragments of moon. I mean, though it is not scientifically so, but that is how they have poetically imagined it. The nakshatra vigraha, so the nakshatras are the fragments, the white fragments which moon had left behind. And so nakshatra vigraha refers to the summation of all those fragments, thus meaning moon. And Shiva is the Chandramatihi. He has the mind of the moon. Guna buddhi layo gamaha. Guna buddhir layaha gamaha. Layaha is the dissolution. It is destruction. Gamaha is movement. He is the form of destruction. He is the form of any movement. You see, we say kinetic energy, right? It means the energy which is carried in any movement. Even the atoms are vibrating, they are moving helter-skelter, the electrons are moving and so on. So he is the form of all movement. He is also the form of laya, which means of all cessation of movement. And he is guna buddhi. His buddhi, his intellect, excuse me, is guna, is precious. It is of good qualities. Of guna buddhi, laya gamaha, prajapati vishwabahu vibhagah sarva go mukha. Prajapati he is the lord of all citizens. Vishwabahu, his arms are stretched across the cosmos. So literally it is not that his physical arms are hugging the cosmos, but his streak of energy is there everywhere, stretching across the cosmos. Vishwabahu, Vibhagaha, he is division. He is all forms of distinctions and divisions. He is the boundary. Sarva Go Mukhaha, he is the form of Sarvagaha, Sarva Go Mukhaha. See, Go Mukha means the mouth of a cow. Go means cow. Sarva Go Mukha. Now, Go Mukha, if you have seen, it's actually a technical term used in terms of exchange of messages between kings. It's called Go Mukha. So that scroll is called Go Mukha. the message which is written there is also called Gomukha. So any communication which used to happen was through these Gomukhas between kings and such. Now, Sarva Gomukha means he is the form of all such secret spy communications happening everywhere. So not just in the human kingdom and not just amongst kings, but he, in a larger sense, is all these packets of energies and message information which are being exchanged between different bodies all throughout the universe. So that is what God is, and that he is being envisioned as the form or media of all communication. Sarva Go Mukha. नक्षत्रविग्रहमतिर्गुणबुद्धिर्लयो गमः प्रजापतिर्विश्वबाहुर्विभागः सर्वगोमुखः. One last shloka, we are done. विमोचनः सुसरणो हिरण्यकवचोद्भवः मेढ्रजो बलचारी च महीचारी श्रुतस्तथा विमोचनः सुसरणो हिरण्यकवचोद्भवः मेढ्रजो बलचारी च महीचारी श्रुतस्तथा विमोचनः सुसरणो हिरण्यकवचोद्भवः मेढ्रजो बलचारी च महीचारी श्रुतस्तथा. This word is Sruta, not Struta. It is Sruta, Sruta. Srutas Tatha, Srutas Tatha. And this here is Hiranya Kavachod Bhavaha. Hiranya Kavachod Bhavaha. Hiranya Kavachod Bhavaha. विमोचनः सुसरणो हिरण्यकवचोद्भवः मेढ्रजो बलचारी च महीचारी श्रुतस्तथा. Vimochanaha, he who releases all of us souls from suffering. Vimochanaha. Susaranaha, he flows in a very beautiful, very um, you know, appreciable way. So his gait is also somehow very choreographed. Susaranaha, Hiranya Kavachod Bhavaha. Kavacha is the armor that he wears. Hiranya Kavachaha Udbhavaha. Hiranya is golden. So he is born Udbhava from the Hiranya Kavacha. Now we have discussed this very briefly last class, I believe, that Brahma was born from the Hiranya Garbha, from the egg of the golden egg. So there are two meanings to this word again. Hiranya Kavachod means literally it means he is born out of the golden armor, the golden blanket. And second, it means he is the form of Brahma. He is Brahma himself who was born from the golden egg. So the first meaning refers to that incident where Shiva, uh, you know, if you remember this incident of Karna, the Karna gets the Kavacha Kundala, right, from Surya. And where does actually Surya get his armor, this unbeatable armor? It comes from Shiva. And how did Shiva get this? This Shiva got it from a person called Vishwakarma, the divine architect, who crafts weapons and armors. He got it from Vishwakarma. And how did he get that? So the story goes that he had to destroy the Tripura. And so every god gave some part of themselves, they contributed to Shiva in order to facilitate or in a way to contribute in this great mega event of the destruction of the three cities, of nuking of the three cities. And Vishwakarma gave this, he crafted this armor for Shiva. This golden kavacha came to him. And but soon after destroying these three cities, he just tore open, and this was supposed to be an unbeatable armor, by the way. So it was not very easily tearable, but he tore it apart and he just threw it, and Surya picked this up. So he is the one who tore up the unbeatable, so-called unbeatable, the durable armor, thus signifying his strength. And secondly, he represents Brahma for having emerged from the golden egg, which means he represents that cosmos which was born, this universe which has born from divine light. Medrajaha. Now, once again, I have talked about this at length before, that the Shastras have no qualms about being very raw and very open about genitals, about sex and sexual topics. They quite in fact are in fact the women too actually, if you until the British and the Mughals came, would not wear upper garments, and of course the men, though they didn't wear upper garments at all anytime. So it was a very open and very inclusive culture. So here why I just said that was because Medra literally means the phallus, the penis. Medra, from where so Medraja is that which emerges or ejaculated from the penis, which means the semen. So Medrajaha, if we have seen this, he is called the Suvarna Retaha. He is the golden seed, the golden semen. So Shiva is also this masculine energy which springs out, not just from humans, but in all creatures. This masculine energy, which is innate in every living creature, be it male or female. So, this vital fluid, which creates another living creature, which potentially creates another living creature, that is Shiva himself. Balachari, he walks amongst, he strolls, he takes a stroll in the armies. Balachari cha Mahichari, he walks on the earth. Mahichari, Mahi is the earth. He walks, he treks in the mountains, he treks in the jungles, he hikes in the forests, and so on. Srutas tatha. Tatha means also. Srutaha, he is also liquid. Sruta, Sruva. He is a fluid which just flows everywhere. So he is as a person, he walks and treks the all of Earth, and as a fluid, he just flows everywhere and everywhere he likes. Srutaha. Okay, so we can stop here. Uh, Next class we shall cover a few more shlokas. Hopefully, we'll be able to cover more. Though I'm not really keen on hurrying anything, because even if I'm not able to complete all these 180 shlokas before Mahashivratri, I may just extend this for a few more days. Hopefully, you guys will be around to attend those classes too. uh, any questions? Yes. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Indira, ma'am, you have raised your hand. Do you want to tell something?
Yeah, yeah. Carry on. So, and it's called Shiva Sahasranama, and it is very different from the script that we are reading and understanding. It starts with Aya Namaha, Shiva Aya Namaha, Araya Namaha, Rudraya.
Yes, ma'am. So, like I had said, there are two texts. I mean, there are more than two Shiva Sahasranamas. So, there are actually three which we have currently. First, what we are reading is the most authentic of the three, which is the Shiva Sahasranama written by Veda Vyasa himself in the Mahabharata, which was composed by Brahma and recited by Upamanyu to Krishna, and from Krishna to Yudhishthira, this is being narrated. This is the Shiva Sahasranama, which starts with Sthirasthanu. However, there is also one other Purana, Linga Purana, one other Sahasranama in the Linga Purana, which was recited by Sri Vishnu himself to the Devas, right? When they approached him asking for, uh, for to know about more about God, of Shiva, of God Shiva, of Almighty Shiva. Vishnu himself describes those 1008 names, and that comes in the Linga Purana. So that begins with Hara, Mrida, Shiva, and so on. So maybe that is what you have the physical copy of, but this is called the Mahabharata Antargata Shiva Sahasra Nama. So please, when you're buying books from any library or any bookstore, please check if the first two names are Sthira and Sthanu. The first shloka of the actual Sahasranama, if it begins with Sthira and Sthanu, then that is the correct. Correct in the sense that that is the text that we have been reading. And in the links that I have sent, I have searched for it, and so you can actually buy that book map. Maybe I can share that link once again. You can order that book. It will be delivered online. Sorry, it will be delivered to your home.
Sorry about this, but one request. Tomorrow is Sunday, so like tomorrow is Sankashti too.
Hmm.
Evening we definitely need to go to the temple. The visit will be done. So could you just advance the time so that I don't miss it?
Okay. What time would be comfortable to you?
You can ask everyone. Like I leave by 6 o'clock to the temple.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, 3 o'clock. Okay. Let me just ask the others. So, Miss Bhavani, Miss Meena, Darshanarya, Pushparya, is 3 o'clock fine tomorrow?
Daughter's place will be there. Things will be just winding up around 3 o'clock. So I may not be free for food or something, I think.
Okay. Okay. So you will be free after 4? After 4?
So that's what I feel. I don't know, but I feel it may be around 4.
Okay.
But if that can be accommodated, otherwise, if everybody is all right with 3 o'clock, then I'll join as soon as I can. So that also can be done. Only like we can start at 4. Ma'am will join. And in case it gets late, then I'll be leaving and I'll message you.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to go there.
Okay. We'll fix the time at 4:15 then. Let's make it 4:15, 4:15 to 5:15.
That would be very good.
Okay. 4:15 to 5:15. Okay.
Yes. For complying my request, it's only for tomorrow.
Okay, sure, sure. Any other questions about today's class? Any inputs? Yes. Which shloka, ma'am? Which shloka? Sorry? Khala is whip. Whip ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ this ಚಾವಟಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾವಟಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ. I don't know. Do you know Kannada? ಸೊ ಆ ಚಾವಟಿ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಚಾವಟಿಗೆ ಖಲ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಆ ಚಾವಟಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋನ್ಗೆ ಖಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ತಾಳ ಅಂತ, ತಾಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಆ ಭಜನೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ತಾಳ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು ತಾಳ. ವೇಣು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಳಲು. ಪಣವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಢಕ್ಕ, ಡ್ರಮ್ಸ್. ಆ, ಅಲ್ಲ, ಡಮರುಗ ಬೇರೆ ಇದು. ಆ, ಈ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಡ್ರಮ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಜಾಗಟೆ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಜಾತ್ರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್? ಎನಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್?
Just one. I had one question, that I wanted to just clarify that you had said Metra Jo, that Metra, which can it also be interpreted as, you know, ojas
Yes, yeah, actually true. Correct. Actually makes sense. Yeah,
form, when the energy is translated to a higher form,
correct.
becomes ojas. So then,
True. Yeah, makes sense actually. Yeah, I didn't think of this. Yeah, so ojas, yes, that vital fluid which gets transformed into ojas. Correct. Medraja. Hmm. Any other inputs? Yeah. No, please. I love this because I am also here to learn from all of you. So please share. Okay, so let's wrap up. Om Shanti. We shall meet tomorrow, 4:15, same link. Please do share it with your friends. I mean, you guys are now my marketing people, so please share it with your groups, in your friends, those who are interested. May let them also draw benefit from this. And because this is a very unpopular, less popular Shiva Sahasranama, it is my humble desire that it reaches many people. Not to contest with Vishnu Sahasranama, but just that, because we are nearing Mahashivratri, maybe this everybody is now in this Kumbh Mela zone, and now they slowly it's getting transformed and modified into Shiva zone, right? A wave of Shiva is rising. So just to contribute to that also. Astu, namaste. Dhanyawad. Yes, please go on.
Namaste, Dhanyavada.
Namaste. Dhanyawad.
Can we have brief introduction of all the participants?
Of what? The okay. Yeah,
Sometime.
surely. That would be really great. Yeah, correct. I will plan that. I'll schedule that for one of the classes. Thank you, Arya. Thank you.
One or two sentences about
Absolutely. Yes. I too would love to hear from all of you. Yes. Okay. Namaste.
that belongingness will be more, that's all.
Correct. I agree. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe soon I will make some time out and we can have we can start a little early in the class and then we can do that.
Actually, I don't remember Ramani. This is Ramani. She also was in Bali. She was there for some time and I don't know why she
Oh, is it? Okay.
also joined. Talk to her and ask her to continue.
Yeah, if it is a network or a technical issue which we can work on, we can. If it is for any other reason that she left the group, okay. Sure, ma'am. Sure, Mahadi. Thank you.
Very, very big. Yes, falling in love with Lord Shiva.
Thank you. I mean, all of your blessings, all of your blessings. I'm also learning. Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Bye.
Jagannath.
Hari Om.